Welcome to my kitchen, Mrs. Sardo's kitchen. Today we're going to be making little lasagnas. Here's how they look when they're done. They just came out of the oven. I just want to taste it, and then I'll show you how to make it. That's real crispy, the pasta. You're going to love this. Make it for your family this week. Let's start by making our tomato sauce. I've turned our burner on, and I'm going to use some olive oil first. And I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons just to coat the bottom of the pan. And then I'm going to add some garlic. This is a whole garlic bulb, and I'm going to be grating in a couple cloves. So I'm just taking 2 pieces off, 2 cloves. And then it's tricky to get the skin off. Let me show you how to do that. All right, so give it a little tap. And then one more. Take the skin off. All right, that one was a little tricky. Let's see, this one will be easier. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. Now, we're gonna grate it into our olive oil that is just heating up. Now you would definitely need your parents to help you with this part. Grate it in, that's one. And then our second one. And then your whole house will start to smell so yummy. Watching your fingers, and there you have that. All right, then we're going to add a can of crushed tomatoes. So we're going to add that. Let me open it first. I prefer to make my own tomato sauce, but you can definitely use jarred sauce as well. And I'll show you my favorite jarred sauce. All right, so you can see the garlic is starting to sizzle, and just before it turns brown, you're going to add in your crushed tomatoes. And then I always add a little bit of extra water to the pot. Salt and some pepper. All right, now we get a spoon. Give it a little more stir. And that's it, homemade tomato sauce. You could also add a sprig of basil. That simmer on medium heat for about 30 minutes. And there you have it, homemade tomato sauce and some spinach. Mushrooms, when you get them, are often dirty. They say not to wash them, but based upon what's going on, I think we should be washing them. So I'm going to give these a rinse. And I'm going to show you how to chop them. All right, now you guys can chop with a pizza cutter at home. These are a safe tool for kids to use to chop. I wouldn't be able to hold it like this if it were super sharp. So these are something that you could use to chop. Mrs. Sardo is going to be using a knife. All right, so always tucking your fingers in. I'm just taking off the bottoms. All right, but we should give these a little wipe off any excess dirt and moisture. And then I'm just going to run my knife through them to chop them. Into small pieces. Okay, I'm just gonna chop a few for you. And then you will know how to do it. First, slice them, and then you can stack them and chop them into smaller pieces. Doesn't matter if it's perfect, for sure. Now, the mushrooms are gonna taste like meat once they're cooked. They take on a nice meaty flavor. All right, so that's how you chop your mushrooms. Next, I'll show you how to do some spinach. You can take a handful of spinach and pile it up. This is how I often taught kids how to do it, because they have fun doing it this way. You can take the stems off and then roll it up like you would your sleeping bag if you were on a sleepover. Roll it up, and then you can cut it into little ribbons called chiffonade. Okay, see? Next, we're going to saute our vegetables for our little lasagnas. Again, I'm gonna add about probably just a tablespoon of olive oil to my saute pan and get that turned on. Make sure that it's well coated on the bottom before I add my mushrooms and my spinach. Those will just take a second to saute and cook. I brought my cutting board over here. I'm just going to add in my mushrooms and spinach and season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to hold off on the salt because that'll make the mushrooms moisture come out a little too early. But just at the end, I'll give them a little more salt and seasoning. But this is a great addition to our little lasagnas in the middle with our cheese. So I just wanted to show you the vegetables are sizzling away and coming together nicely. Added a few more just so that we had enough for our little lasagna. Next, we're going to make our cheese filling. Mrs. Sardo purchased some ricotta cheese in a 15-ounce container, just like that was on your shopping list. And I'm going to add it to a small bowl. There's plastic when you open it, which I already took off just to save us some time. So into a bowl it goes. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of fresh Parmesan cheese. And if you'd like, you can always add an egg to this to make the cheese creamier. But I think it's fine just to have it plain like this. So I'm going to grate about a third of a cup, fourth of a cup of fresh Parmesan cheese, like that. And I always grate on a piece of wax paper so that then I can add it to the cheese really easily. Okay, good. That's a good tip. You can also use cracked Parmesan cheese as well. And I was talking about the sauce that you could use that would be good, a jarred sauce, Rayo's. This one's marinara. Excellent. I have everything set up and ready to go. In my first bowl, I have the cheese that we made together. I have added the cheese, the Parmesan cheese. I didn't give it a whirl, so I'm just gonna stir that up. And I'm gonna add in a little bit of salt there as well. and some pepper. Okay, now in the next bowl I have our mushroom and spinach combination. And in the last bowl I have our tomato sauce, our homemade one. All right, so for our pasta, for our little lasagna, normally Mrs. Sardo uses wonton wrappers. And on your shopping list, it said wonton wrappers. But when I went to Acme this morning, they were out of them. I guess they're just not high on the list of things to restock during these times. But I wanted to show you what the packaging looks like. These are egg roll wrappers, but wonton wrappers are smaller, and they come 50 to a pack, and they're shaped like this, squares, 50 squares. Oh, there's Jack again. And then as a backup, I bought lasagna sheets of fresh pasta that I cut into those squares I just showed you. So we're gonna try that. You could also buy dry pasta, lasagna noodles, and boil them and cut them into squares as well. And I'm sure that would be perfect. So you have 3 options for this recipe. All right, so when you're doing the little lasagnas, you're gonna do a pattern. You're gonna start with a little bit of sauce. Start with your pasta, excuse me. Then we'll do sauce. Push it into your muffin pan, like that. That's what you'll bake them in, your little lasagnas. You're gonna add a little bit of sauce. So the pattern is sauce. I should have it set up like that. Sauce, cheese, veg. All right, now add a little bit of cheese next. I think Jack smells this. A little cheese and a little bit of vegetables. Okay, and then another layer. So you'll do the same pattern. Sauce, cheese, and a little vegetable. Then your third piece of pasta goes on top of that. And on that one, we're just gonna put sauce and a little bit of mozzarella cheese, which I don't have out yet, but I will.